Guru and Chantz were shaking. We're talking about. Oh, I forgot what we were talking about. What are we talking about? What are we talking about here? We're talking about Mortal Kombat. It just dropped. It was hot lava. That thing was butter. Chantz, take it away. What do you think?
I liked it. I do feel like they were missing a few key components. I do realize there's a lot of mixed reviews, and I am a part of the mixed people. It wasn't that it wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad movie by any means.
Bad.
It was exactly what I expected. I didn't expect the movie of the year, but I expected it to be better than the last one, and it delivered on those aspects. They did well explaining the backstory behind the two most famous characters in a movie, in a game rather. So after explaining Scorpion Sub-Zero's backstory, they delve into it, and then me and you briefly spoke about Liu Kang's portrayal and how they might be sticking closer to the game reference because the one in the original movie, Liu Kang, was more of like a badass, like
right.
This one was more reserved and calm and a monk. I could accept that but I was used to the, Liu Kang will knock you out. I'm used to that. I mean, not that this one won't, but it's just they carried themselves differently. Like the Liu Kang from the original one, he didn't really even bang with Raiden like that in the original. If you remember, their whole time how they met each other was kind of thrown. Oh, Raiden had to prove himself to him by flipping him like, yo, let me let you know who I am real quick because you talking me crazy. As far as this one's already, Lord Raiden. You have company.
Right.
Like he already
respect for him. Yeah, they changed that parallel, yeah.
And I think maybe because that was my first portrayal of Liu Kang, the first one, I think that's what I was expecting. So I'm not gonna lower the movie review because of my personal expectations. So overall, the movie was pretty decent. I would watch a part 2 or 3, whatever they decide to make. I like the direction they're going. I enjoyed how they explained it, the twist on it with the symbols. And then you kill the original bearers to get their powers and become the new Earth's champion. I like that. I like how they explained that. I like how they have to, each person had their own arcana. I think that's how you say it. Something with an A in it. Yeah, and
somewhere,
right. So I liked how they explained it. That explains everybody's powers. We didn't really have the explanation in the original movie at all, actually.
Right. Yeah, guys just had laser eyes and robot arms, but there was no explanation, right? So it was cool that they did that where it was okay, yeah, you got this dragon tattoo, this emblem on you, and it also imbued you with a certain kind of hidden power. Like, I kind of thought it was cool. It's like my man had the robotic arms and his arms just got yacker. So it was like, okay, all right.
And so his power is robotic arms. Like, is that his arcana? You know what I mean? They could have did a tad better than explaining that one. You know what I mean? Like they could have, I don't know.
It tapped in, so it's like your arcana taps in to an innate energy, and that just makes whatever you doing better. So like your man Cole he wraps his arm, so now he has a body wrap. Okay.
Yeah, but maybe going by your explanation, maybe that was his power because he's a wrestler, UFC fighter. So
he wrapped the arms, and so maybe his body. Okay, all right.
So maybe his body is a defense. Like he's defensive. So if you notice, this first move he did against Goro was a wrestling move after he got he realized his power.
Right.
And then he broke his arm.
Kind of like they all had to see something traumatic, like Sonya Blade was under the rock and Jack's like, no, the arms.
Right.
So yeah.
Little cheesy, but it's acceptable for what the movie's supposed to be, a Mortal Kombat movie.
They hit the video game marker, right? They checked that off. We all wanted to see the blood and all that. So like they did that well. And there were parts maybe in the story that could have been better, but I'll let it rock because I was there to see homies get crazy.
I have to appreciate them for the fatalities because that's one of the things that was missing from every movie or every iteration that was out. And that's one of the biggest parts of Mortal Kombat, fatalities. I looked at it like a presentation of them back to back, and they stayed true to the fatalities that they showed. Like that's in the game. So I appreciated that. I like the attention to detail they gave. I think my main issue was they could have made it a little longer. This is the first Mortal Kombat movie that we're getting in modern day, especially if you weren't going to put the tournament in this one. The tournament is basically, this whole movie was a set piece to the actual tournament, part 2. I'm not a huge fan of movies that are only put out to set up for another movie.
Right. And that's kind of exactly what this was. It was just trying to open up. And it's like they could have did more world building instead of like trying to force feed it to us. And like the Sonya Blade part was like, oh, Mortal Kombat with the words backwards. It's like you could have just showed us more of that background, so that once we got to the point where you started talking about people having these tattoos that gave them powers, it's like it felt, you know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, it's like I let a lot of it rock, because it was like I was there for the fatalities. I was there to see them get it rocking, right? So if you really want to break down the character development, but it's like if we're just listen, I was there for what it was, and it was
right.
But yeah,
it was good for what it was supposed to be, but there's definitely some changes they could have made to improve. They should have put their all into this movie, and then just took on the extra risk of like, all right, oh damn, they want a part two,
right?
You know what I'm saying? All right, so we gotta figure something new instead of just kind of holding back. Like you held back Johnny Cage, because he wanted from part two, and that explains now. Oh, now we're gonna look for new champions. There's more than enough champions to leave out one of the most central characters of the game, and the central character of the updated games where we at now.
Right.
Johnny Cage is sort of the star right now. Liu Kang and Johnny Cage sort of. You know what I mean? So they made Johnny Cage a big deal. So to leave him out the movie completely, and I was a Johnny Cage fan. When Mortal Kombat first came out, I actually liked Johnny Cage more than Liu Kang. He was one of my favorite characters.
I think he's trash. He's just a.
I'm a fan of somebody who can talk trash and back it up. That's who Johnny Cage was.
Listen.
I enjoyed seeing him actually be more centered on like the story being more around him, and then his daughter Cassie and his wife Sonya. Like I enjoyed that aspect. I like that he got the spotlight that he deserved.
I think it was nobody built out Jax too, for that matter. Jax had a daughter, right? She had
Jax had
So in the grand scheme of it, I just think Mortal Kombat is one of those properties where there's so much story to it. They're trying to get to part 2, part 3, part 4, but it's like you said, there were a lot of things they kind of stripped away from this in hopes of them getting to the next level, where it's like you should have just tried to make the best first movie you can make. So
right,
with that in mind, it's like, yeah, this was a good movie. It had a lot of great elements to it, but if you're a stickler for story and characters, yeah, it's not gonna come together the right way just because there's pieces missing from it that they purposely took out to feed us in another 2 years from now. So,
and I think it's not fair for us as movie reviewers to give it and say, oh, we got fatalities, it was a good movie. We got fatalities, but it wasn't the best movie.
If you hear for fatalities, it was a good movie. But if you want to say, oh wait, well, where are all the other things I like, then you might be like, all right. But if you just want to see blood and fighting, it got a good amount of that. But if you're like, listen, I want to see the tournament, and I want to see Johnny Cage, and I want to see, you're gonna be mad.
I enjoy tournament movies. I like, for some reason, any movie with a tournament in it of characters coming together, and like a setup for a tournament, and then a payoff in the tournament, and having one definitive winner. I enjoy stuff like that.
Movie.
Oh, Warrior, one of my favorite movies.
Warrior.
Tom Hardy. No, not the Warriors. Warrior, just Warrior.
I don't know that word.
Tom Hardy, and starts with an E. He also played in that movie with Will Smith that was on Netflix. Yeah, Warrior is one of my top movies. Yes, that was a movie where he is two brothers, and one kind of got the short end of the stick. He went to the military. He's the more like aggressive one, whereas the other one was he had a family. Her daughter, and his house is about to get mortgaged, and they both enter the same tournament. They both used to be fighters. The good brother, so to speak, his motive is to get the money for his house so his family will be homeless. The other brother, his motive is to win the money so that he can give it to one of his comrades that passed away. He wants to give it to his family. They both have great motives to win, and they're both selfless motives. However, one person has to win.
I'm going to check it out, because what that does is sounds like the movie took its time to give you enough about each character, right? Where it's like, oh, I care enough. So it's like, where this, if I'm gonna be honest, where Mortal Kombat failed just now is like they didn't give you enough of background about every character where you cared. It's like, of course we care because we've seen we played the games, we've seen the other movies. So there is a level of the people that are watching this automatically care. But if if we just going back to good stories, like, they could have did a little more background about these characters. Part of it is just, again, a lot of people coming into it are excited to see the property, do something new. And so if you're in that, if you put rose-colored glasses on, you put the certain shades on, it's all good. But if we're gonna be, extra analytical about it, I would definitely say the more I know about a character, the more you care. We only really care because we play the games and we've seen all this other stuff before. So, make it another one, give you some more background. You get the Johnny Cage. All these characters that died gonna come back because they said, death is just
obviously.
an illusion. Death is just a part of it. Yeah, so we'll have all the characters back. You'll get the tournament. Imagine you don't get the tournament to like movie 3. Like that'd be crazy.
I would take away this is a good movie if I have to wait to the tournament part 3, especially because there were 9 tournaments already in the backstory before the movie happened. So if I gotta wait to part 3 to see the 10th tournament,
right? You know what? Now that you're saying that, they could have at least showed us like some old tournaments. Like, you want to go show us the tournament that they were gonna be? At least show us like 2 scenes,
bits and pieces, like a flashback.
That because you said, Earth lost 9 times already, 7. Can I see that?
I want to see. Can you show me one of them? Can you show me the very first tournament? Can you show me a victor? As I know Goro was the winner. I know Shang Tsung was a winner at some point, according to Mortal Kombat lore. But can we see this a 10-second flashback? You know who did well with that? In Justice League, the updated one. Snyder's cut. That's something I needed to see. The cuts to the war, whatever the case is. I love that because it gave me a lot of backstory and it made a visual for me.
Right. Now
I care more. You telling me about the tournaments, you telling me about this prophecy. I don't care. I don't care about Cole. Why?
Right.
I don't know him.
Right. And they kind of try to make it work.
They gave him a family and expected us to appeal to that. Like, his family's
right. It was really that's like generic though. Like,
right. Like, first of all, Sub-Zero wouldn't have kidnapped your family. He would have killed them.
Right.
So,
he took him out.
Right. This is the sub. Exactly. Cold. Emphasis on cold.
Cold.
So right. So this is not the he kidnapped them and froze them. First of all, shouldn't they have killed them? Shouldn't they have died of hypothermia?
Yeah. Let's talk that talk, man. Yeah. I mean, how you freeze them and then they come back? You know what? I let that go too. Because again, I was just like, listen, say get over here one more time and we good. Just get over here. Just do that. So, if you really take away the glass, you take away the rose-colored frames and look at it as a story, the story beats were not all there. And so we're in the time right now of like nostalgia is winning. Like, like 80s and 90s and the stuff that was old, like is making a resurgence. And so people will just buy into it because it reminds them of what they liked previously. But it's like if the property isn't done justice, if the story isn't good enough, and it's a cash grab. You know what I mean? A lot of this time it's just a cash grab. So we're gonna keep seeing. You got Space Jam 2 coming out. Why? I'm about to watch old Space Jam. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect to the people involved, but it's just like, why you just regurgitating the same type of? So listen, keep doing that, but either make a better story, make the story better, add to it, or make fresh stuff. They're running out of story beats. That's really what I'm coming down to.
I can't stand movies that focus straight on nostalgia. Like you're pandering to what we missed as a child. You wanted us. You said, it is. But I wanted Mortal Kombat to be different. They had an opportunity because we haven't had a good Mortal Kombat movie since 1995. It is now 2021. The best Mortal Kombat
movie you've had, sir.
It is the best Mortal Kombat movie you've had.
That's only because it's CGI. That's only CGI.
The animation is so much better that no matter what they did, it had to be better than the original.
A couple parts they messed up at though. Like I seen a couple parts where I seen the mat where you weren't supposed to see the mat. I let it rock though. Again, I was like, I'll let it rock because it's a movie. It's Mortal Kombat. I just want to see people. I just want to see swing. I just want to see the level of ridiculous that Invincible has, where your man was running around killing, like the dad was killing the whole team. He did, like that's the level of. I was just looking for that.
So then you get what I'm saying, because that's exactly my point. And Invincible, they go straight to it, blood and gore. This is what Mortal Kombat is: blood and gore. And it still wasn't enough for me. No, it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough.
There you go. See, that's what wasn't enough. Like, how much do you want? We gave you.
It's rated R. The whole movie should have been bloody. That was dope. That was the dopest one though. Jax was pretty good too when he slammed the head. That was pretty good too.
Pretty good. Kano wins when he ripped the homie's heart out. But how you punch through somebody? How a normal human punch through somebody? Yeah, his Arcana. But he didn't even know he could tap in before that.
His Arcana is not super strength. It's laser beam. So how are you that strong?
Does that just make everybody a little stronger? Because Sonya Blade doing 1,000 aerial flips. She was like.
Again, they didn't explain that. We wouldn't know. Because the backstory wasn't fleshed out.
Right.
Like I
So
said.
you know what? At the end of the day, I think we're right in saying, you know what, they failed in giving enough backstory to make like the power shit make sense. But they were leaning on the property. You listen, if you're watching this, you probably know a good amount of the property. You know, right? You know something. So they took, but with that said, it's like now, okay, y'all did the bare minimum. People liked it, bare minimum. But now it's like, okay, well, if you look back, it's like the story's gonna have holes. Hopefully they fix it part 2, and we'll go from there.
Again, it was not a bad movie. I don't want people to think that I'm saying it was a horrible movie. No, it wasn't. I enjoyed watching it.
Man, you watched it twice, man. I know you liked it.
I watched it twice. I didn't want to prejudge this movie off of one watch. You always seem to gather something you missed on a second watch. Right. So I watch most of my movies twice, just to get an idea on, okay, maybe I missed something. And I didn't even give it a full watch. I fell asleep, not because it was whack. I was tired, but
sleep, fam.
But I'm gonna give it its flowers. I enjoyed the beginning, the backstory. That's all accurate.
I wish I'd have seen him in the Hell region, in that realm.
That would have been Netherrealm. Yeah, that would have been dope.
That'd have been dope.
I would love to see that when we went through, because in the cartoon version of the movie, the one they put out, I think last year, they gave all that. In the beginning they gave when Sub-Zero killed him. Then they showed him going to Netherrealm. They showed what he went through and why, and the deal he made with Quan Chi to come back and get his revenge on Sub-Zero. So Quan Chi wasn't named, I don't think. So they must be going a different direction. But at least in that iteration, we got to see what he went through, and he fought to be Scorpion. Right. It wasn't just something that just happened.
Bro. That has solidified just his journey. It's like, listen, you show me this flashback, but don't tell me how long ago it was. So it's just like, it is what it is. I've heard a couple people say they didn't even know that was that long ago. They thought that was like 2 weeks before the rest of the movie. But that's what situations where it could have been a lot better. And,
I remember that the words came up and he said something about the prophecy or when the blood touches something. I don't know. But after that prophecy, the next clip is of Cole fighting. So pretty much after that clip, you already know Cole is a descendant of Scorpion.
I knew he was a descendant of one of them too. Remember I said I knew he was going to be descendant of somebody.
You did.
It was an easy slam dunk for a story. Like, oh, who's this new character? He had to have a bridge somewhere.
I was hoping you were wrong because that would have been too simple. That's why I wanted you to be wrong. But that's why I wanted you to be wrong. I had higher hopes for the movie. That's why I said, like, you know what? No, I don't think that's what it is. I hope you're wrong. Because if you're right, then that makes me right about what I thought the movie was going to be. So now you being right may be right.
You sound like Winter Soldier and the kid. Right. If you're right, he's wrong, then I was wrong. Listen, let me tell you, I feel like that's why I'm comfortable with how the movie came out, because I kind of assumed he was going to be related to somebody. You don't give you in a movie that everybody knows 90% of the people in the movie or the character and the property. How you give me a brand new person and I'm sort of believe in him? So he must have some type of tether, right? So as easy as that was to pick up, I just feel like that as a writer, that's what they leaned on. Something easy that everybody can get on board with. But when you start really thinking about it, it's like, that's not enough. We could have just stuck to what was there, and so a lot of this stuff ends up being easy to guess because it's like it's like Occam's razor. It's like the easiest course for something to go in a lot of these movies. And it's like, instead of taking a risk, like we were saying, put it all on the line now and try to make the best first movie you can. A lot of them are trying to milk it so that they can make more money. If I can make three movies out of this or 5 movies out of this property.
What's good is that it wasn't bad to the point where you can't make it up. Part 2 can right all the wrongs of part 1.
They could have made a stronger first installment. But with that said, if you here for the video game stuff, you got it.
Yeah, definitely. If you wanted to see blood and gore, it was in this movie.
Hopefully the tournament, we get all the characters we love, we know and love. We get them in the tournament, the fighting. And listen, I want better, if I'm going to go there, I want better fight choreography. John Wick has some of the best fight choreography. You know what I mean? You need to pick it up. You're talking about something where, it's combat. So everything got to be hitting.
That's kind of how I felt about Iron Fist. Remember I said that Iron Fist he's supposed, in the comics, he's one of the greatest martial artists to ever live. I didn't get that from the show. Matter of fact, Daredevil's fighting skills seem better than Iron Fist.
Way better.
Which is not supposed to be the case.
They took more time to make that show, and they probably gave that guy more time to train. You know what I'm saying? Like if you ever watch
most
like
likely.
Samuel L. Jackson talk about like training for Star Wars, they trained for a
Yeah.
while, bro. They had the sword
Right.
fights, then they trained without the clothes and with the clothes. Like, so it's a lot.
Yeah.
So like if you want to actually have people performing things where it's like, you know, and they're not like Tom Holland where they're automatically agile and they're good at flips already. Like if you just a cat that you need training, you need to give that person time, because if it's not believable, it will show. Maybe not the first play, but the third time I watched, it's like that looked a little stale. That you had to CGI that. So at the end of the day, listen, take your time. Netflix,
that's kind of
Amazon, HBO, take your time to make the best product you can make, because people are picky, man.
That's what I got from this Mortal Kombat movie. Jack's fight, I got what I expected, because Jax is not really a martial artist. He's just more of like a ground and pound. And I thought the actor did pretty well. I wanted to shout out Kano though. Kano was Kano. Kano was an asshole. And that's who Kano is in the game. So he did a fantastic job of that. Kano quickly became one of my favorite characters. Don't hold nothing back because you want to save it for part 2. No, you gotta show out.
Right.
This is going to be a heavily scrutinized movie. Mortal Kombat, everybody loves Mortal. I love Mortal Kombat. Everybody does. The game has been around since the 90s. You have to go all out.
Gotta do your thing.
So I mean, I'm gonna give it a 7.5.
A 7.5? All right, listen. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna give it. All right. Well, listen here, sir. The gore.
I already know what you're about to give it. I know what you're about to give it.
Because I don't think you do. I was just the gore boosted up some points, but I'm really thinking about the story. It's like, I'm gonna give it a 6.
Give it a 6. No, I did not know. I did not know you was gonna say that.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't that great. It wasn't that great of a story, bro. When I think about Daredevil scenes, the fight scenes, or think about John Wick extended fight scenes, like you talking about people talking about gods and elder gods and dudes with late. If you like the games, if you like the gore, if you like to get over, you're gonna get those pieces. But
if you're a fan,
hey, listen, if you might not be in for the story, you might just want to see that stuff, like Kong vs. Godzilla. I don't really care about what's going on with the humans. I just want to bring the beefs out, bring the kaiju's kicking. So I'll give you a 7. Or I'll boost y'all up, because the gore, if you don't care about the story, it's good, man. If you don't care about the story, it's good. You might just be one of them guys that want to see stuff happen on screen.
The fact that they didn't give us maybe 1 or 2 scenes, they gave us a couple of scenes of gore. So that's why I said the story sucked.
You don't get a traditional tournament, and you don't have all the characters you might be looking for. So that's why you kind of get a dip. If you like the video game, you just want video game stuff on screen. If you want more story and you wanted to see all 20, 30 characters, you're going to be a little upset. But, check it out.
Definitely worth the watch, for sure. Watch the movie. Watch the movie.
Do what you do with your time. So with that, man, listen, I hope they make another one. We got Loki coming up. We got a Marvel. We'll talk about Loki. We'll talk about Captain America. And that's why I said Captain America, because my man is the captain. You know what I'm saying?
I have a lot of opinions on that, too. We'll get there.
We'll get to it. Look out for this week. We're going to drop out the Captain America Winter Soldier joint. So, close this out, man.
Like, subscribe. Let us know what you think. And we'll see you next time. I'm Chantz. That's Google.
Peace.